Hello and welcome to yet another video of Cornerstones of Math. Today we are going to prove that the equation x squared plus y squared plus z squared equals 9999 cannot have an integer solution. Okay, that's quite simple. Let's see how we can do this. We are going to use the proof by contradiction approach. So let us assume that there exist integers x, y, and z such that x squared plus y squared plus z squared equals 9999. Now when it comes to integers, one of their most important properties is that they can be classified into odd numbers and even numbers. So let us consider this odd-even thing first. Since 9999 is an odd number, it must be either the sum of squares of two even numbers and one odd number, or the sum of squares of three odd numbers if you want to write it as the sum of three squares. So let's examine these cases one by one. The first case, two even numbers and one odd number. Notice that using an arbitrary integer n, any even number squared can be written as 2n squared, which equals 4n squared. Hence, it gives remainder 0 when divided by 4. What about an odd number squared? Well, it can be written as 2n plus 1 squared. So 4n squared plus 4n plus 1. So 4 times n squared plus n plus 1. Hence, it gives remainder 1 when divided by 4. This means that this right-hand side is congruent to 0 plus 0 plus 1, hence 1 mod 4. However, 9999 is congruent to 3 mod 4. Therefore, we have a contradiction, meaning that this is an invalid case. What about the other case, three odd numbers? Here, sum of squares of three odd numbers is congruent to 3 mod 4, so it seems like the valid case. However, recall that any odd number squared can be expressed as 2n plus 1 squared with integer n, so 4n squared plus 4n plus 1, which can be also written as 8 times n plus 1 over 2 plus 1. Here, this n plus 1 over 2 is an integer because one of n and n plus 1 is an even number. Therefore, we can obtain the information related to division by 8. It gives the remainder 1 when divided by 8. Therefore, the sum of squares of three odd numbers is congruent to 3 mod 8. However, 9999 is congruent to 7 mod 8. Therefore, we obtain contradiction for the second case as well. Therefore, as a conclusion, x squared plus y squared plus z squared equals 9999 cannot have an integer solution. The thing is, the right-hand side can be any numbers in the form of 8k plus 7, where k is an integer. For example, it can be 887, 999, 1111, 2023, 10,007, etc. And that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in another video.